This is information. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like the new number of Wilson's Meat Market, 1191 Sycamore Street, please.
Throughout history, the tapestry of human civilization has been woven with the threads of numerous professions, each vital in its time and place. As the wheel of progress turns, many of these professions fade away, replaced by new roles or rendered obsolete by technological and societal advancements. The disappearance of such traditions provides a poignant reminder of the relentless march of time, reshaping our world and the ways we engage with it. This video delves into 20 such ancient traditions, offering a glimpse into bygone eras and the roles that once held significance but have now vanished from our daily lives. Number 1. Ice cutter. In the days before modern refrigeration, the simple act of obtaining ice was an art in itself, rooted deeply in human ingenuity. The profession of the ice cutter harkens back to colder climates where frozen lakes and rivers offered a bounty during winter months. These individuals would brave the cold, using saws and other tools to carve out large blocks of ice. Once extracted, the ice blocks were stored in insulated ice houses, packed in sawdust to keep them from melting during warmer months. These stored blocks would later be delivered to homes, businesses, and other establishments, proving vital for food preservation and daily comfort. But as with many professions, the need for ice cutters began to wane with the emergence of new technology. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw the development of mechanical refrigeration systems. These machines could produce ice without relying on nature's whims and without the labor-intensive process of manual extraction. Over time, as refrigeration units became more accessible and affordable, the demand for natural ice dwindled. Eventually, the ice cutter, once a staple in colder regions, faded into the annals of history, replaced by the hum of refrigerators and the convenience of ice-making machines. Number 2. Switchboard operator. In an era before the digital age transformed communication, the switchboard operator stood as a vital link connecting voices across distances. Huddled in front of a large board filled with jacks and plugs, these operators manually connected calls by inserting specific plugs into appropriate jacks. Every call, whether local or long distance, required the careful attention of an operator to ensure proper connection. Beyond the technical aspect, the switchboard operator played a significant social role. They facilitated essential communications, connecting loved ones, assisting in emergencies, and even occasionally eavesdropping, unintentionally or otherwise. Their importance in the realm of communication was undeniable. However, as technology advanced, the manual process of connecting calls became untenable. The mid-20th century ushered in automated systems, which eliminated the need for human intervention in call routing. Digital systems and direct dialing further streamlined the process. As a result, the role of the switchboard operator became obsolete, giving way to a more efficient, albeit less personal, mode of communication. Number 3. Elevator operator. The gentle hum of an ascending elevator, punctuated by the soft voice of the elevator operator announcing each floor, is a scene almost cinematic in today's world. Elevator operators were more than just people who pushed buttons. They provided an element of human touch to the mechanical process of vertical transportation. Dressed usually in uniform, they would greet passengers, inquire about their desired destination, and skillfully maneuver the elevator to the appropriate floor, all the while ensuring a smooth ride. In a time when elevators were not as user-friendly as they are now, their presence was both a luxury and a necessity. Beyond their technical duties, elevator operators often became familiar figures in daily routines, sharing brief exchanges or news with the building's occupants. Their role extended beyond mere functionality, adding a layer of sociability and human connection in an increasingly urbanized setting. Yet, as the world moved towards efficiency and automation, the profession of the elevator operator began its decline. By the mid-20th century, advancements in elevator technology introduced user-friendly push-button systems, rendering the need for a human operator redundant. Buildings modernized, and the personal touch of the elevator operator was replaced by the impersonal efficiency of machines. Their disappearance symbolizes the broader shift from human-operated services to automated systems in the modern age. Number 4. Fuller. The rich texture and durability of woolen cloth, cherished in many cultures, owes much to the fullers who once played a pivotal role in its production. Fulling was the intricate process of cleaning, thickening, and strengthening woolen cloth, a crucial step to enhance its quality and longevity. Using a combination of moisture, heat, and pressure, fullers would tread or pound the cloth, removing impurities and tightening the weave. The importance of the fuller's profession cannot be overstated. Wool, as a primary textile, was central to many economies, and its refinement through fulling was vital to ensure it met the standards of durability and aesthetics. The fullers were thus integral in transforming raw wool into a valuable product fit for trade and wear. However, as with many traditional crafts, the rise of industrialization and mechanization in the textile industry led to the decline of the fuller's role. Machines began to take over the labor-intensive process, achieving results more quickly and consistently. Over time, the hands-on art of fulling by individual craftsmen was overshadowed by the efficiency of machinery, marking the end of an era for this ancient profession. Number 5. Town crier. In a world devoid of instantaneous digital alerts and breaking news notifications, the town crier served as the original herald of public announcements. With a bell in hand and a voice trained to project, the town crier would traverse the streets, proclaiming news, edicts, and proclamations to the community. Their role was pivotal. They were the mouthpiece of the governing bodies, ensuring that crucial information reached every ear, from market regulations to royal decrees. Dressed distinctively, often in a red and gold coat, tricorn hat, and white breeches, the town crier was a figure of authority. Their word was trusted, and any news they delivered was accepted as fact. They operated at a time when literacy rates were low, making their verbal announcements even more critical for the dissemination of information to the general populace. However, the advent of the printing press in the 15th century heralded the beginning of the end for the town crier. As print media proliferated, newspapers began to serve as a more efficient means of disseminating news. The widespread growth of literacy further solidified the dominance of print over oral communication. By the 19th and 20th centuries, the role of the town crier had diminished significantly, ultimately being relegated to ceremonial functions or nostalgic events. Number 6. Knocker-up. In the dim light of pre-dawn hours, the rhythmic tapping of the knocker-up's long stick on bedroom windows was a familiar sound in many British towns during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Their duty was simple yet indispensable: to rouse people from their slumber, ensuring workers made it to their jobs on time in an era before alarm clocks became household staples. Each knocker-up had a list of clientele who relied on this human wake-up service. The rapport between a family and their knocker-up often ran deep, built on trust and punctuality. This profession wasn't just about waking people. It was embedded in the cultural fabric, representing a community's commitment to industriousness and punctuality. However, as technology progressed, the invention and subsequent affordability of mechanical alarm clocks rendered the knocker-up obsolete. These new devices could reliably wake individuals with their persistent ringing without the need for human intervention. By the mid-20th century, the knocker-up had faded into obscurity, replaced by the ticking and talking of bedside alarms. Number 7. Bowyer. The bow, a symbol of ancient warfare and hunting, stands as a testament to human innovation in the realms of survival and combat. Central to this iconic weapon's creation was the bowyer, an artisan skilled in crafting these powerful tools from wood, horn, and other materials. The artistry of a bowyer wasn't just about shaping a piece of wood, it required a profound understanding of materials, tension, and aerodynamics. Each bow was meticulously crafted to suit its user, tailored for strength, range, and precision. Bowyers were revered members of their communities, their expertise ensuring that hunters could feed their families and that warriors stood a fighting chance in battle. From the longbows that played a crucial role in medieval European warfare to the composite bows of Mongol horsemen, the impact of the bowyer's craft resonates through history. However, as technological advances birthed more potent tools of warfare, the relevance of bows and the craftsmen who made them began to wane. The introduction of gunpowder and firearms in the late medieval period shifted the dynamics of battlefields. The precision and power of a bullet outmatched that of an arrow, making bows seem archaic in comparison. Over time, as guns became more accessible and reliable, the demand for bows and the skills of the bowyer faded into the backdrop of history. Number 8. Fletchers. As bowyers crafted the bows, fletchers were the artisans responsible for creating the arrows, the silent partners in the dance of archery. The art of fletching involved carefully attaching feathers to the shaft of an arrow, ensuring stability and accuracy during flight. Every arrow was a marvel of balance and design, a testament to the fletcher's understanding of aerodynamics and material properties. Fletchers and bowyers often worked in tandem, their crafts intertwined. The quality of an arrow was just as vital as the bow from which it was launched. A well-made arrow could mean the difference between a successful hunt and going home empty-handed, or victory and defeat in battle. Yet, much like the bowyer's craft, the fletcher's art faced obsolescence with the rise of modern weaponry. As bows were replaced by guns on the battlefield and in hunting, the demand for arrows dwindled. The precise and labor-intensive craft of fletching became less vital in a world dominated by bullets and gunpowder. The fletcher, once an indispensable part of any military or hunting party, gradually became a relic of a bygone era, remembered more for historical significance than practical utility. Number 9. Cobblers. For centuries, shoes have been an essential part of human attire, protecting our feet from harsh terrains and inclement weather. Cobblers, with their skilled hands and keen eyes for detail, stood at the forefront of this sartorial necessity. In their workshops filled with the scent of leather and the rhythmic sound of hammering, they would mend worn-out soles, replace tattered straps, and breathe new life into old shoes. A good cobbler could make a pair of shoes last for years, a sustainable practice in an era before the throwaway culture. Their services were indispensable. Shoes, being continuously exposed to wear and tear, required regular maintenance, and cobblers ensured that people didn't have to buy new pairs frequently. They were guardians of both economy and sustainability. However, with the advent of the Industrial Revolution and the rise of mass production, the landscape of shoemaking and repairing changed dramatically. Factory-produced shoes became widely available at lower costs, making it more economical for people to simply replace rather than repair. The personal touch of the cobbler, the bespoke care for each shoe, was overshadowed by the allure of brand-new, mass-produced footwear. The once thriving profession began to wane, with fewer individuals seeking their services. Number 10. Chandler. In an age where darkness was conquered by the flickering glow of candles and the soft lather of handmade soap was a luxury, chandlers were esteemed craftsmen. Their workshops, infused with the aromas of melting wax and curing soap, were vital hubs in every town. Candles provided essential illumination for homes, churches, and streets, while soap catered to the basic hygiene needs of the populace. The chandler's craft was meticulous. Creating candles that burned evenly without excessive smoke, or ensuring that soaps were gentle yet effective, required expertise and patience. For centuries, their products illuminated nightfall and ensured cleanliness. However, the age of innovation brought challenges to this age-old profession. The 19th and 20th centuries saw the rise of electricity, forever altering the way people lit their homes and streets. The soft glow of the candle was replaced by the consistent brightness of the electric bulb. Concurrently, industrial production made soap readily available, pushing artisanal soap-making to the sidelines. These advancements, while improving the quality of life, signaled the decline for the traditional chandler. Their craft, once vital, transformed into a niche, often reserved for those seeking nostalgia or artisanal quality. Number 11. Blacksmith. The rhythmic clang of metal striking metal, the fiery glow of a forge, and the deft hands shaping iron into tools, weapons, and ornate artifacts. These were the hallmarks of the blacksmith's trade. For millennia, the blacksmith was an essential figure in every community. From forging the farmer's plow to crafting the knight's sword, their skill set was indispensable for daily life and protection. Their forges became community hubs, places where news was shared and deals were made, all to the backdrop of molten metal being molded with precision. The blacksmith was not just a craftsman, they were innovators. With each swing of their hammer, they transformed raw iron and steel into objects of utility and beauty. Their expertise ensured that communities had the tools necessary for survival and progress. However, the winds of change, ushered in by the Industrial Revolution, shifted the landscape of craftsmanship. Factories with their machinery began to mass-produce goods at a scale and speed that individual blacksmiths couldn't match. Railroads, mechanized farming tools, and modern weapons emerged from these industrial hubs, reducing the community's reliance on the local blacksmith. By the 20th century, the once vibrant forges grew quieter, and the role of the traditional blacksmith diminished, becoming more of an artisanal pursuit than a community necessity. Number 12. VCR repair technician. In the latter half of the 20th century, the video cassette recorder, or VCR, revolutionized home entertainment. Families could record television broadcasts, rent movies, and replay them at their convenience. As these devices proliferated households, a new profession emerged, the VCR repair technician. These technicians were adept at navigating the intricacies of this technology, ensuring that any mechanical or electronic glitch didn't disrupt the viewer's experience. For a few decades, their skills were in high demand. A malfunctioning VCR meant missed episodes, unwatched movies, or lost memories. The VCR repair technician, with their toolkit and expertise, became the savior of movie nights and cherished recordings. However, technology, in its relentless march forward, soon presented alternatives. The advent of digital media, DVDs, and later streaming services rendered the VCR obsolete. As households transitioned to these new formats, the demand for VCR repair dwindled. By the turn of the 21st century, the VCR repair technician, once pivotal in the era of tape-based recording, found their skills becoming relics of a rapidly fading analog age. Number 13. Cartwright. Before the hum of engines and the roar of motorized vehicles, the rhythmic sounds of the Cartwright's workshop filled the air. Cartwrights were skilled craftsmen responsible for designing and building carts and wagons. Each cart, tailored to its purpose, whether for transporting goods or people, was a testament to the Cartwright's understanding of weight distribution, balance, and durability. In agrarian societies and burgeoning urban centers alike, these horse- or oxen-drawn vehicles were essential. They facilitated trade, connected communities, and were pivotal for everyday transportation. The Cartwright's expertise ensured that these vehicles were sturdy enough to traverse the varied terrains, from muddy village paths to cobblestone streets. However, the dawn of the 20th century brought with it the age of motorization. The invention and subsequent mass production of automobiles and trucks revolutionized transportation. Motor vehicles, with their speed, efficiency, and increasing affordability, quickly became the preferred mode of transport. As roads were developed and improved to accommodate these vehicles, the traditional wagon's slower pace and lower capacity became evident disadvantages. By the mid-20th century, the Cartwright's workshop, once a cornerstone of transportation, had been overshadowed by factories producing automobiles, marking the end of an era dominated by horse-drawn vehicles. Number 14. Lector. In the bustling ambiance of early 20th century factories, particularly in cigar manufactories, the resonant voice of a lector provided both education and entertainment. As workers engaged in monotonous tasks, the lector, perched on an elevated platform, read aloud newspapers, novels, and political treatises. This oral tradition not only alleviated the tedium of repetitive work, but also informed and educated workers, sparking discussions and debates during breaks. The choice of reading material often reflected the interests and preferences of the workers, making the lector an essential part of the factory's social fabric. However, as the 20th century progressed, technological advancements began to reshape the landscape of personal entertainment. Radios, offering a diverse range of programs, started to replace the human voice of the lector. The portability and accessibility of radios, coupled with the rise of personal entertainment devices in subsequent decades, rendered the profession of the lector obsolete. While the rich tradition of factory readings faded, it left an indelible mark on the history of labor and entertainment. Number 15. Milkman, milk delivery vendor. The image of the milkman with his clinking bottles is an evocative symbol of a bygone era. Before dawn, milk delivery vendors would traverse neighborhoods, leaving fresh milk at doorsteps. This daily ritual ensured households had a consistent supply of fresh dairy, often sourced from local farms. The milkman was more than just a delivery person. They were a trusted figure, connecting consumers directly to the source of their sustenance. However, the latter half of the 20th century saw significant shifts in the dairy industry. Innovations in packaging, such as plastic bags and long-life cartons, extended milk's shelf life. Supermarkets began to stock these products, offering convenience and variety. The personalized service of the milkman with daily home deliveries became less viable and eventually dwindled in the face of modern distribution methods and changing consumer preferences. Number 16. Workers in laitarias. Laitarias, characteristic establishments in certain regions, were more than mere dairy shops. These venues sold an assortment of dairy-based beverages, creams, cheeses, and other fresh products. They also provided light meals, making them popular spots for both sustenance and socializing. Workers in laitarias were adept at crafting delightful dairy concoctions, ensuring that products were fresh and of the highest quality. However, as global trade and supermarkets expanded their reach, offering a plethora of options, the traditional laitarias faced stiff competition. The convenience of one-stop shopping and the broad assortment available at larger stores started to overshadow the niche offerings of laitarias. Over time, these establishments, with their unique charm, became rarer, though they remain fondly remembered by those who frequented them. Number 17. Typists. Typewriter operators. In the echoing halls of offices past, the rhythmic clatter of typewriter keys was a familiar and constant sound. Typists, or typewriter operators, were the backbone of administrative tasks, converting verbal or handwritten information into typed documents. Their skills, honed through rigorous training, ensured accuracy and efficiency. Contracts, letters, memos, and countless other official documents bore the imprint of their nimble fingers. The typewriter, a mechanical marvel of its time, required not just typing skills, but also maintenance know-how. Operators often became adept at basic repairs, ensuring minimal disruptions to their workflow. In an age before digital documentation, these individuals were indispensable, capturing and preserving information with ink and paper. However, the digital revolution of the late 20th century signaled a sea change for this profession. The advent of personal computers, word processing software, and printers transformed office documentation processes. These technologies offered advantages that typewriters couldn't match, such as easy editing, formatting, and duplication. As offices globally embraced the digital era, the demand for traditional typists waned. The typewriter, once a symbol of modernity, and its operators became nostalgic reminders of an analog age overtaken by digital efficiency. Number 18. Ushers, Lanternina. The magic of the silver screen, with its tales of love, adventure, and fantasy, was enhanced by the discreet presence of ushers or lanterninas. These individuals, often clad in crisp uniforms, played an indispensable role in the cinematic experience. Guiding patrons to their seats with the soft glow of their lanterns, they ensured smooth transitions before and after screenings. They were guardians of the movie theater, maintaining order, assisting patrons, and occasionally stepping in to manage disruptions. Beyond logistical responsibilities, ushers added a touch of elegance and formality to the cinema-going experience. Their presence signified that watching a film was an event, an escape from the mundane, deserving of a dedicated facilitator. In certain regions, the lanternina, with their characteristic lanterns, became cultural icons of the cinema industry. However, the latter half of the 20th century saw shifts in movie consumption habits. The rise of home entertainment systems, cable television, and later, streaming platforms offered cinema-quality experiences in the comfort of one's home. The convenience of on-demand viewing, coupled with the increasing costs of theater tickets, made home movie watching an attractive alternative. As theaters witnessed declining attendance, the role of the usher, once quintessential to the movie-going experience, diminished. Modern multiplexes, emphasizing self-service, further lessened the need for ushers, relegating them to a nostalgic memory of cinema's golden days. Number 19. Lamplighter. As dusk settled over cities and towns in times gone by, the lamplighter embarked on their evening ritual. Walking determined routes, they lit, extinguished, and maintained gas-powered street lamps, ensuring streets remained illuminated throughout the night. Their task was both practical and poetic, transforming dim paths into illuminated boulevards, adding a layer of safety and charm. The lamplighter's role went beyond mere lighting. They ensured that lamps functioned optimally, refilling gas supplies, cleaning glass panes, and replacing worn-out components. Their consistent routines made them familiar figures, punctuating the transition between day and night. However, technological advancements in the late 19th and early 20th centuries heralded changes for this age-old profession. The advent of electric lighting brought with it a consistency and brightness that gas lamps couldn't match. Electric lights, requiring minimal manual intervention and offering longer operational hours, became the preferred choice for urban illumination. Cities rapidly adopted this new technology, and the lamplighter, with their gas torch and maintenance tools, became an emblem of a fading era. As streets transitioned to electric brilliance, the poetic silhouette of the lamplighter gradually receded into the annals of history. Number 20. Penny farthing cyclists. The penny farthing, with its distinctive large front wheel and diminutive rear wheel, stands out as an iconic representation of Victorian-era cycling. Named for its resemblance to the largest and smallest British coins of the time, the penny and the farthing, this bicycle was the pinnacle of cycling technology during the late 19th century. Riding a penny farthing required a unique skill set. Cyclists had to mount the tall bike with a running start, using a small peg on the rear frame for assistance. Once atop, riders sat high above the ground, providing them a clear view of their surroundings, a genuine advantage in an era before motorized traffic. Their elevated position, however, also meant potential falls could be perilous. Penny farthing races became popular events, drawing large crowds. Riders showcased their agility and speed, and being a skilled penny farthing cyclist was a mark of distinction. Communities would gather to watch these races, turning them into social events. However, with the advent of the safety bicycle, which featured two wheels of equal size, chain-driven mechanisms, and more comfortable seating, the popularity of the penny farthing waned. The safety bicycle's design mitigated the risk of the notorious header falls from penny farthings and became the blueprint for modern bicycles. Today, while the penny farthing is no longer a common mode of transportation, it remains a symbol of a bygone era, often evoking nostalgia and curiosity. Some enthusiasts still ride them, keeping the legacy alive, but largely, it stands as a testament to the ever-evolving nature of transport and design.